Kevin Garnett out with an injured knee. First career missed playoff game as the Celtics took on the Bulls. And Magic Johnson, what did Derrick Rose do that impressed you so much?
Well, 36 points, 11 assists. He was so dominant on both ends of the court, not just the offensive end, defense as well. But he controlled the tempo of the game, Michael. That's what really impressed me. He was amazing.
Paul Pierce got fouled late. He missed one of the free throws. If he had made the second, Celtics would have won. Instead, we go to overtime. Tyrus Thomas, clutch jumper, Bulls up 2, and then Wilbon, last play. Ray Allen with a chance to tie. What happens here?
Well, I mean, they played pretty good defense on Allen and Pierce most of the game. Look at it. He is totally contested and can't put that shot down. 1 for 12 shooting for Ray Allen, 9 for 33, Allen and Pierce. That's tough to overcome even for the champs.
Bulls beat the Celtics 105-103. Here is the East bracket as we speak right now. For the first time in Celtic Bulls playoff history, the Bulls win a game.
Gordon in Boston, a review, gave Ben Gordon a 3 instead of a 2, so a 1-point game after 3, like in game 1. Moments ago, David Aldridge checked in with Boston coach Doc Rivers.
Doc, you asked your team at halftime who's going to help win this game. Looks like Ray Allen volunteered in the third.
Yeah, he really did. We really needed it. Now we got to get Paul involved as well. You know, we got a lot of fight in us, and we just got to keep doing it.
You got to put bench players on the floor, Doc. Who do you trust here in the fourth quarter?
Well, Eddie House can make shots for us. We can't take Rondo off the floor because we're worried about his ankle, so he's just got to stay out there.
All right, thanks, Doc.
Thank you.
So, Doug, Ray Allen, you talked about shooters before the game. You circled Allen and Gordon. Sure enough, in the third quarter, Allen had 16 points. Ben Gordon had 11 points in the third.
Now 28 now for Ben Gordon, 18 for Ray Allen, who came to life. So Eddie House is in the game right now. Ray Allen is getting a rest. And so you've got Eddie House out now with Paul Pierce and Rondo. You heard him say he can't take Rondo off the floor. It's Paul Pierce's fourth quarter. And, you know, Kev, you don't want to be over-dramatic because obviously if the Celtics lose this game, there's still plenty of time in this series. But 0-2 going to Chicago is big right now. So this is a big 12 minutes for the defending world champions.
Kirk Heinrich has come in to start this fourth quarter. Miller had it. It was knocked away. House may have gotten a hand on it, and Perkins brings it in. Turnover number 9 for Chicago. See the bench tonight for the Boston Celtics. Pierce driving by Selmans right to the rack and rejected. That's the 6th block shot for Tyrus Thomas tonight for the Chicago Bulls. Shot clock is down to 7. It's Pierce picked up by Selmans. Doubled by Miller. Uncovered Davis. Late post by Thomas. House. Rondo. Perkins. Miller is on Perk. Kendrick Perkins, Doug, has put in 12, 5 of 7.
See, Perkins is worried about getting his shot blocked with either Noah or Tyrus Thomas. He knows Miller can't block that. Take your time, and you can get that shot whenever you want it.
It's Gordon over House for 3. Rebounded by Davis, who cleans that up well. He's got 7 rebounds. House. Here's a screen. Gordon is on Pierce.
He's backed him down and shoot over him.
Selmans has gone across the way on House, so they got the switch on defense. Paul Pierce, who called it, Doug. He's got 16. Heinrich gets a Miller screen. Rondo on it. Heinrich exploits the defense of Perkins, knocked away by Rondo with the steal. Ahead to House, the official got in the way. Down he goes, and the ball out of bounds.
You love Rondo's energy. Great steal. There was nothing there. Paul Pierce was trailing him. Had he held that, Paul Pierce was trying to yell at him and get his attention. He could have turned and flipped it around, but the emotion of the game, he tried to find Eddie House in the transition, and that ball just skipped on him away from the receiver.
Rondo only his 2nd turnover in the 72 minutes of this series. Here's Thomas, late close by Davis. Thomas has hit 2 long shots. He's gone hit his last 2, Doug. He is 2 of 6 for 6 points.
How good is his mid-range shooting right now? He's turned into a pretty good catch-and-shoot player.
We showed that in game 1, as you talked about earlier, in overtime.
He had 3 big baskets in overtime.
They trapped Pierce. They've done that more tonight. Heinrich, causing Perkins problems, knocks it away. Selmans into Pierce at the other end. Oh, Selmans puts in a beauty on the fly. 17 points. 1-point game just like that.
Every time the Celtics turn that ball over, Chicago is really capitalizing.
Screen by Perkins. It opens the door for Pierce, driving into Thomas. And Thomas collects the rebound, his third.
Now Paul Pierce looks tired.
Salmons over Perkins for three. A shove underneath and away from the ball. With the whistle blew with 3 minutes gone here in the fourth quarter. 9:03 right now. House picks up number 2.
Now, Doc Rivers might have to buy Paul Pierce about a minute and a half here. That last play he made, he just sort of flipped that ball at the basket. There was no strength in that finish. So he might have to get Ray Allen in the game and give Paul Pierce just a little bit of a break. We'll have to see. But right now, there's a thing called trust. And Doc Rivers knows right now he's in a fist fight, and he wants his best players on the floor, maybe even if they're a little fatigued.
Salmons picked up by Pierce. Miller picked up by Davis. Miller the screen. Salmons over Perkins with the block shot for the Boston Celtics. And a foul. Subsequent foul. And a timeout taken with 8:50 to play in the fourth quarter. That's the first foul called on Chicago's John Salmons.
See, Salmons, he makes Pierce work on both ends of the floor. That's what I talked about,
Good
sometimes
point.
wearing guys down. We'll see if that takes its toll here in the last few minutes.
Of the game turned in by Tyrus Thomas, Doug. 6 block shots, 1 block shot shy of tying a franchise record for blocks in a playoff game. Artis Gilmore had 7.
Remember now, in the first quarter, they had 4 of those blocks that the Celtics picked up and laid back in the basket. That has not happened here in this second half. So Ray Allen now is back in the game, and Eddie House is out there, Rondo, and he did give Paul Pierce a break. I think Doc Rivers saw exactly what I saw, and Paul Pierce was tiring. You got a 1-point lead. Can you maybe buy 2 minutes and then get back out there? So it's going to be important now for this Boston bench to hold the fort with Paul Pierce resting.
Pierce with 35 minutes played in the game so far. 16 points, 7 of 14. Here's Rondo with the triple-double. 15, 10 rebounds, 11 assists. Shot clock is down to 7. Perkins a screen. Rose picks up Rondo. That's out of bounds and a turnover.
Nice job just playing off Rondo. He does not trust that jump shot.
How quick is Rose? The other way, right into Davis. Streaking for 2 and gives Chicago the lead. Their first field goal from Rose since 3 minutes left in the second quarter. He's got 8. You see the points off turnovers. Heinrich is on House. Allen over Gordon for 3. Ray Allen, who had a terrific third quarter, dug for the game 21.
Now you want to talk about screens. Big Baby just stood Ben Gordon up.
How about that? Miller gets by Davis, crashing into Perkins. Rebound by Davis. He collects his 8th rebound. Rondo in the open court. House free. Over Rose, a 3. I think it was partially deflected by Rose. It was.
Oh, what a great play by Rose, getting out and chasing Eddie House and getting a piece of that ball.
Gordon decides to drive, crashing underneath into House, and that's a foul at the 7:38 mark of the fourth. It goes on House, who is tagged with his 3rd.
That's his 3rd personal.
You see, Big Baby, he's been all over this floor tonight, literally and figuratively.
Ouch.
Had a big ball game, 22 points, 8 rebounds. Done a much better job not trying to do too much tonight, getting them all within the framework of their offense. And Ben Gordon going to the line here, giving him the chance to get his 29th and 30th points.
And the Chicago Bulls, Doug, plus 8 points from the free throw line tonight, now plus 9. And Vinny Del Negro, the coach, told us before the game, we're going to try to force the issue inside the drive.
Drive the ball inside, get to the foul line. So right now, if you look at it, the advantages for Chicago are the three-point line and the free throw line, and the advantages for Boston are points in the paint and second chance. Paul Pierce back in the game right now, so he gets about a minute's rest. Also, he had the timeout, so probably got about a 5-minute rest and only missed a minute of the game. So nice job by Doc Rivers.
Not in game time, but in real time.
Right.
Eddie House leaves.
That's what you do as a coach. You maybe miss 1 minute of game time and you get 5 minutes of rest. I tell you who was the master of that, Jerry Sloan with John Stockton. They miss about 7 or 8 minutes and get a game time and get about a 30-minute rest.
That's the free throw story right there. Rondo with 12 assists. Shot clock at 6. Gordon watches Allen. by Perkins. Perkins grabs his 11th rebound. Doug puts in his 14th point.
You know, Brad Miller's going to have to turn around and face guard him. He and Noah, and on the boards, and just keep him off the boards. He's just pushing him underneath the basket.
Miller a screen for Rose. Deflected by Rondo. Shot clock at 9. Heinrich over Pierce for 3. One Jayhawk knocking it over another. And Chicago's back on top by 1.
Well, Boston's Jayhawk better go to work. Paul Pierce.
He's got 16. He said the game was on his shoulders before we tipped it off here. He's the captain. He's been through it all.
MVP of the finals.
Now he's working on Rose. The shot clock at 6. Oh, deflected by Rose's second block in the last couple minutes. It's picked up by Heinrich. They got numbers. Allen, the low line of defense. To the trailing Noah. Right into Allen. Count it. That is a foul. He'll go to the free throw line. As Joakim Noah, boy, the bigs of Chicago love to run.
And that's what you do. You've got the power in the Boston Celtic big men and the speed and the energy. But how about, this is 2 blocks now that Derrick Rose has made in the last couple of possessions. Remember, he got Eddie Houses, then he kept the ball alive. And this is going to give an opportunity for a 3-point play. So all of a sudden, that bench we talked about it with Chicago, the job that Brad Miller's done. How about that big 3 that Heinrich, and remember now, Kirk Heinrich was a big part of this team for about 3 or 4 years as a starter. So you're putting a guy in there who has great experience.
Noah with 13 points, 8 rebounds. 4th foul went on Ray Allen.
Chicago 9 fast break points this half. So they're starting to get out in the open court. But interestingly enough, Kevin, they're doing it with their defense.
Gordon was getting tangled up with Ray Allen underneath and away from the ball. And the foul goes on Ray Allen, who is pleading his case across the way, and he has just picked up his second personal foul tonight with 6:19 to play in this 4th quarter. You give a young team a little confidence on the road, a lot of things can happen, huh?
That's how big that one free throw was that Paul Pierce missed at the end of game 1. Otherwise, they're up 1-0 and not feeling this pressure. They're feeling big-time pressure from this Bulls team right now.
Off a screen, Allen over Gordon. That is a 3-point shot. Ray Allen has exploded in the second half. He's got 24 points and 22 since halftime. Rose was doubled by both Davis and Perkins. It was looking for Noah, and it's off Chicago. That's turnover number 11 for the Chicago Bulls. And a timeout. 5:55 to play in regulation. Ray Allen, Doug, has been right on the money.
Well, he's getting good screens. Now he's getting some daylight. And when Ray Allen dials that in, there's no better shooter in the NBA. Second all-time at threes behind our beloved Reggie Miller.
Go up 1-0. A couple days, Doug, between the next couple games in this series. That favors an older team like Boston.
If you're Boston, you got 6 minutes here, and Doc Rivers says, look, we got 2 days between games. Then you play Thursday and have 2 more days between games. So a team that's older and beat up, this schedule really helps Boston if they can find a way to win this game here tonight.
Boston at 48% from the floor. Chicago at 49. Miller closing out the 3 by Allen. Rebound by Perkins. 12th rebound for Perk. Allen 7 of 15.
Perkins has been great on those offensive boards.
That's the story right there. Offensive rebounding tonight. Perkins twisting into Noah. Perkins with 16. How about the big man with the light feet, and the Celtics by 1. 7 offensive rebounds by Perkins tonight. 7 of them. Rose and Gordon. Heinrich, Noah, and Miller, the Chicago 5. It's Miller picked up by Perkins. Shot clock at 4. Gordon looks at the clock. Here comes Allen with the defense. Altered the shot. And he was pressed. Wasn't steady. Missing the 3. Defended by Ray Allen.
Well, you could see every time Gordon came off a screen, they were switching out on him. Made it impossible for him to get a catch and shoot. So very good awareness that time by the Boston Celtics about where Ben Gordon was on every screen.
How about Ray Allen in this series? 6 points in the first 59 minutes. 22 points in the last 13. Chicago just suffered their second shot clock violation of the game moments ago. Rondo got a Pierce screen. Ball over Rose. Rebound by Davis. Another offensive rebound. That's his 10th. Make it his 9th with 22. Outside Paul Pierce warming up. Pierce has got 18 points, 8 of 17. 20 Boston offensive rebounds. Boston with a little 7-0 run. Miller banging into Davis. Rebound by Rose. With Curlin with the left hand. He's got 10.
How about the point guards? Both of these guys really can get to the offensive backboards. I mean, Derrick Rose
Good point.
is a very good offensive rebounder, as well as Rondo.
Pierce picked up by Selmans. In the middle. Knocked away by Noah. Retrieved by Rose with all his speed into Davis. And out to Gordon. Closed by Allen. That's a 3-ball. Right down the middle for Ben Gordon. 33 points in 40 minutes. Dug 33 points in 19 shots.
How about the block shot? What is that? 13 block shots now for the Bulls, leads to a 3-point run out. Anytime the Bulls have gotten the open court, they have really been good.
Noah on Pierce. Another block. Picked up by Miller. Out to Rose. Pierce meets him there. Ahead to Gordon. That's a 3 over Allen. That's good! Oh, he is on fire! Ben Gordon has been a flamethrower. He gives Chicago a 5-point lead. 3:11 to play. Timeout Celtics. Gordon dug with a game-high 36 points.
Well, the Bulls have done a great job of keeping Paul Pierce off the free throw line. Look at Ben Gordon, spots up in the open court, knocks down the 3. Here he is once again. This guy is feeling it. That basket looks like it's about 3 times its normal size. The young baby Bulls growing up. Yes, sir, a bullseye, Ben Gordon. We see you.
36, a career playoff high for the Chicago. Ben Gordon with 36 points, Bulls by 5. He scored 6 points, dug in the last 30 seconds of the game.
Such an explosive score. Remember, Kevin, I said about in the third quarter, this is the kind of guy that can get you 40 if he starts cooking, and he's using screens. They're looking for him, pulling up in transition. That was the one that was initially called a 2, then was a 3. I mean, this guy is on fire, using screens. Doesn't matter. When a guy starts shooting the ball like that, you run 1, 2 guys at him. Look at his numbers. 3 minutes and 11 seconds here. Boston could go down 0-2. Defending world champion Chicago on an 8-0 run. Can you imagine what the United Center is going to be like on Thursday night if the Chicago Bulls go home up 2-0?
Allen in a congested lane. Miller grabs onto the ball along with Ray, and they're playing a little twister. With 2:54 to play here in the fourth quarter. Doug, let's go back 23 years ago to number 23, who against this same Boston team in the old building put in 63, and they lost, did Chicago in double OT.
Well, Ben Gordon, if he can get 27 in the next 3 minutes. Just to put that in perspective.
Going, you don't know.
Just to put that in perspective.
What did that quote of Larry Bird say? God was disguised as Michael Jordan in that game.
That's the year, remember, he had broke his foot and missed about 60 games that season, came back late. But if Chicago wins tonight, it'll be 2 straight wins over Boston in the playoffs. Never before beating Boston in a playoff game. That's hard to believe, in it with all the great teams, that the Bulls would never have beaten them in a playoff game.
Celtics just picked up a delay of game because they couldn't get straight on the tossed ball. Gordon, Rose, Noah, Miller, Selmans, the Chicago 5. Pierce and Allen, Rondo, Davis, and Perkins, the Boston 5. Allen watches Gordon. A 2. Rebound, Pierce. And that is his 8th rebound. Pierce doubled. Allen quickly on him was Rose. Rondo. Going in. Nice basket in there by Big Baby. He's got 24. Rondo picks up his 14th assist.
Still a ton of game left. You don't want to start shooting a bunch of threes if you're Boston. Drive that ball inside like you did. Get a layup. Keep putting the pressure on the Bulls.
Rose. Miller. Knocked away. Pierce knocked him off balance. A breakaway for Rondo. Rose the other way, trying to defend. And Rajon Rondo's got 17. Much to the delight of Kevin Garnett. just like that, it's a one-point game with under 2 to play.
And what did Rudy Tomjanovich say when he was the coach of the Houston Rockets? Don't ever underestimate the heart of a champion. Celtics are not going to go easy. Look very bleak. An 8-0 run by Chicago. Back-to-back baskets by Boston. We have a one-point game coming out of timeout. Can Chicago execute and get a hoop?
Twisted an ankle. That resets our game right there with each team having a foul to give.
See, if I'm Chicago, you know that they're going to really be locked into Ben Gordon. How about getting that ball in the middle of the floor? Rondo's got a little bit of a gimpy ankle. And go back to that screen roll with Derrick Rose. Let him go to work in the middle of the floor. And then if Boston helps, you can kick out to a shooter. But let's see if they get that ball in the hands of Derrick Rose and let him go to work like he did in Game 1.
Rose just 10 points. Gordon. Inside over Allen. What a beautiful teardrop put in. He's got 38, 12 of 22.
Boy, Ben Gordon has answered the call. Every time Vinny Del Negro has come out and called his number. Tough shots. Look at this. They drive him down to the baseline. Gets those shoulders square. Look at this floating shot. Looks like he's almost behind the backboard. You know how difficult that shot is, but and Kevin, when shooters get it going, that basket just looks so big.
One night it's Rose with 36. Tonight, Game 2, it's Gordon with 38 for the Chicago Bulls.
Well, sometimes being young helps. It gives you fresher legs, and sometimes you don't realize really how big the games are. You just sort of play, and that's what Chicago's doing right now. They're just playing.
There's no pressure on the Bulls coming into this series.
That's what they said. They're playing with the house money right now.
Rondo weaving. Finding Davis into Noah with a hard foul. Noah will pick up his 4th. Chicago now out of fouls to give.
That's his 4th personal.
Noah, a rugged player. Davis will be at the line with his 24 points. All right, national coverage of the NBA playoffs continues. Tuesday, NBA TV. Game 2 of the Rockets and Blazers. Coverage at 10 o'clock Eastern. Then Friday on ESPN, it's Game 3 of the Cavaliers Pistons, followed by Game 3 of the Blazers and Rockets. Coverage starting at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. Also Friday, ESPN2, Game 3, Magic Sixers. Coverage begins at 8 o'clock Eastern. Sunday, ABC Game 4, Celtics and Bulls, followed by Game 4, Cavs and Detroit. Coverage at 11:30 Eastern Time. Doug and I tomorrow will be in Cleveland for Game 2, the Pistons and Cavaliers. A minute and a half left in regulation with Chicago by 1. Rose to Noah, into Davis. Rebound by Rondo. Noah 6 of 9.
That's a great job, though. They really jumped out and forced that ball to go to Noah.
Rondo picked up by Rose. Pierce a screen.
Paul Pierce got to come get that ball.
Rondo. Noah on the mismatch on him. This is for the lead.
Wow. Are you kidding me?
The injured Kevin Garnett has been inside that huddle all night long and on the bench all night long in Game 2 for Boston.
Now, Game 1, he started out at halftime. They were down 8. He stayed in the locker room the second half. Just couldn't watch. And then tonight, he has been out there very animated the whole night. This is what you wanted for Chicago. You got Joakim Noah with a hand in the face making Rondo shoot a jump shot against the shot clock. And you see the intensity and energy of Garnett. Can the Bulls find a hoop here? Can Boston get a stop?
Bulls led by 5 with 3:13 left. Celtics on an 8-2 run. Rose is picked up by Rondo. Gordon running off that baseline. He's picked up by Davis. Allen back on Gordon. For 2. He's got 40. He's got 40 points and 23 shots. 40 points in 43 minutes for Ben Gordon.
That's good defense. I mean, you just force him to make a tough shot going to his left.
Rondo with a triple-double, 14 assists over Rose. Rondo. Tapped by Allen. Reeled in by Rondo. Outside Allen for 3. Oh! with 27, but here is Gordon moments ago with a beautiful 2.
Kevin, what we talked about before the game, one of the keys was the shooters. How about this shooter has 40, and Ray Allen, offensive rebounds again. Rondo, and how open is he? Knocks it down the Boston bench. How important this game is to try to even this series at 1-1 going back to Chicago. Ray Allen had 2 in the first half, 25 here in the second half. He has gone to work. These 2 incredible shooters from the University of Connecticut.
All right, Doug, take us inside that Chicago huddle. Neither team with a foul to give.
Well, it's been Ben Gordon out of every timeout, so I'm sure that Vinny Del Negro is going to try to draw up a play. The one thing, if you're Boston, you've got to chase Ben Gordon off a 3. You cannot give up a 3. A 3 could beat you. A 2 only ties you. So you've got to be aware of driving him. You don't want to give up any 3-point plays. Right now, if you're Boston, try to get a defensive stop, but defend that 3-point line. And don't fall asleep on Brad Miller. Brad Miller can step out and knock that shot down, and that's why he's in the game for his shooting.
3 lead changes in the last 41 seconds of this one.
You're telling me this is the first round of the playoffs, the second game? How good is this?
They trap Gordon. This is for the tie. With 12.3. Gordon had 2 guys with their hands right in his face. Gordon has put in 42 points in 44 minutes. 14-point fourth quarter. Davis was right there. Allen was right there. How bulletproof is Ben Gordon? A sensational game tonight. Ties it at 115. Let's take a look at the Coors Light cold hard facts from about 3 hours ago. Your keys to the game.
Well, Boston came out strong, a 12-point lead, and Chicago fought back, trying to take a 2-0 lead. Look at the style, the 22nd chance points, plus 20 for Boston. The shooters, Ben Gordon, 42. Ray Allen's been brilliant in the second half with 25, and Paul Pierce has not had a great game, has had a good game. And then Derrick Rose has been in foul trouble here early, has come to life here a little bit with 10 points and 7 assists, 6 rebounds. If you're Boston, you want to get this ball down right at that free throw line if you can in the hands of Paul Pierce. Let him go to work. Maybe try to get to the free throw line. But you do not want to give Chicago a chance to get a timeout. They have no timeouts left for Chicago. So this is the second game now in a row that Chicago has run out of timeouts. So they got to make sure here that they put themselves in a position. They got to get a stop here to try to get this game into overtime.
Thomas comes in for Gordon. Will Boston be down 2-0, or will they tie the series? Or will we have another overtime like we did in game 1?
Their money play is to run a little pick and roll with Paul Pierce to get him to the middle of the floor and then let him go to work.
Rose is on Rondo. Allen over Noah. Oh! Ray Allen has done it again! Here comes Thomas.
Ray Allen, look at this shot over Joakim Noah. Knocks it down. You know what you got to love about Ray Allen? 1 of 12 in game 1. 0 of 6 from 3. Missed a shot in overtime that would have sent it into double overtime. Did not run away from it. Look for the shot. Look at Doc Rivers, the trust he has in his man. And once again, Chicago, no timeouts. With 2 seconds to go, they could not advance the ball. That's 2 games in a row. They had no timeouts.
Allen had 2 points at halftime. He had 16 points in the third quarter. Ray Allen had 12 points in the fourth, including the game winner. 30 for the game, and our player of the game is standing by with David Aldridge.
Ray, at halftime, Doc Rivers said, I need somebody to win this game, and he didn't know who to ask for. Looked like you volunteered for the job.
Well, I just think offensively we were stagnant. You know, Rondo had a great game going for us, but team-wise we didn't have anything great going, so I think in the third quarter, once we start moving the ball, everything started falling in place for myself individually. But as a team, I wanted to get us all going.
Describe the last play and what the options were.
We had about Paul going off. We had a big flash, and then me coming back to the top. It just, for that split second that they took that off me, I was open, and I figured just get the ball over his hands.
You had a great battle tonight with Ben Gordon. Obviously, he was hot. How are you doing chasing him all over the floor for 48 minutes?
It's a great challenge. Last year I had Rip, and who also went to University of Connecticut. Now this year with BG, you know, he's a tough player. You know, just he's great on the ball, chasing screens so much. I got to rely on my team defenders, and tonight he got hot. We're in for a challenge in Chicago.
Ray, you get 2 days off now. Finally, you get some time to rest and get some of your guys back. How important is it for an older team like the Celtics?
Well, we rose the challenge. We definitely had a lot of adversity this year, but for the most part, this is the time of year that we all love to get to, and we're excited about what we're going to face in Chicago.
See you in Chicago.
Yep.
All right, back to you, Kevin.
30 for Allen, 42 for Ben Gordon. Boston ties the series at 1. Our producer tonight, Scott Cockrell, our director, Lonnie Dale, and special thanks to Gary Erickson, Russ Lathrop, and Chuck Sorelli. And now for David Aldridge and Doug Collins, Kevin Harlan saying goodnight. We'll take a break, then take you to the Mavs and Spurs in San Antonio on TNT.